All of a sudden, they're trying to grow numbers. So they just pick up whole chapters of clubs and probate them. This is Jeremy, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jeremy.
To me, I don't understand it. I had that I held for fucking Pee-wee for fucking 10 years. And as soon as I saw him, hey, brother, here's your stuff. Here's your box.
He warned you about all this.
Yes, he did. 100%. Told me don't do it. That's why he also told me when we was in Vegas, he would never bring me up to prospect. He goes, not because I don't want you, and not because I don't think you can do it. Don't. He goes, what's the benefit, brother? He goes, the only difference you can't do is go in that one room with the big table. Other than that, you go to everything else. You have all the benefits of being a member. You go everywhere. He goes, you can walk in the door, they all know who you are. He goes, why? Why put yourself in a situation for that? He goes, and then you show me. See, look what this brother did to this one. Look what this one did to that one. Don't ever do it. And I should have listened to him. And believe me, that's the mistake I made in life when I went Bandido. And he told me too. When I went to Arkansas, and he told me, he goes, now you're a Bandido. He goes, and I respect you, brother. You're a 1%er. He goes, but son of a bitch, would you just listen to me? And I didn't do it. But everything he told me was 100% true, because that's exactly what they did. They fucked me as fast as they could. Once you couldn't be a benefit to them anymore, you were out. And that's the problem. They're all looking for a benefit. If you can't benefit them at the top, you're out. If you don't follow the sheet, you're done.
Did you see a lot of problems over women?
Oh, a lot of problems over women. It was nonsense. And then half the shit I'm sitting there going, I thought at the end of the day, they weren't supposed to know club business. So how does your chick even know what's going on? I said, the old ladies had their own little chat or whatever. So there was a problem, but they shouldn't know any club business. So, it'd be like, if I needed to get a hold of one of my brothers in my chapter and I couldn't get a hold of him, I'd tell my old lady, hey, call this brother's old lady and find out if he's at home, because he's not answering his phone, or leave a message that I'm looking for him and I need to get with him. We got a problem. And that'd be it. And I'd be out the door. I wouldn't call his old lady. I wouldn't be going over to his house to know him. So I can get a hold of that brother? I said, no, you have your old lady get with his old lady. That's the way it works. You don't cross that line.
Can you walk me through a situation that you've seen happen with old ladies where maybe a guy's messing with one of their old ladies, they get caught?
Oh yeah,
have you seen that?
Shit, brother. Yeah, nowadays how Facebook and shit works. We had two guys in the chapter that were just fucking pieces of shit. They ended up prospecting like 4 times before we finally threw him out of the club. I'm gonna do, if you can't get your shit straight in 4 times of prospecting, this idiot. Sit him down the road. All of a sudden, he thought it was okay that he would sleep with one of the members' old ladies and got caught. Well, automatically, I'm a man, so I wanted some pussy and all this. And all of a sudden, this chick goes on Facebook, goes on to a full rant about how this dude's this and he does that, and his old lady's names, and talking about the club business, all kinds of shit. And and all of a sudden nobody wanted to do nothing about it. Well, we come to find out, because half the other brothers that could actually bring it to the table were doing the same shit. So they didn't want it to come to light from the chicks they were banging, that all of a sudden now they're jammed up. So they didn't want to do nothing to this brother for doing it, because they would turn around and did the same thing. So if we discipline this one, you get the same fucking discipline. It was fucking nuts. All of a sudden he found out, I would say probably easy 30% do it.
Wow, that's easy. Crazy.
It's insane to me. And I'm sitting there, I'm just looking at him going, dude, you know how many women are on this planet? And you got to have your brother's old lady? Or some chick that he even knows? I said, it's not even worth the drama. I thought we were in this thing for brotherhood, for, hey, I'll ride with you till we die. There's a hand, right now I can tell you there's probably 8 guys that I could actually pick the phone up right now and we would handle business. 8.
And there was a lot there, right?
Yeah, you're talking over 4,000 guys around. And I'm telling you, there's 8 that I would trust to actually handle business. Yeah, all these people, they want to be sons of anarchy and they want to be Mayans and all this bullshit. And that's fine, but they got to understand that's not Hollywood, for one. But for 2, that's not the life. It's a lifestyle. It's not who you are.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can put on a fucking Superman fucking cape and call yourself Superman. But at the end of the day, you still got to be the same man with or without that patch.
Do you think a lot of them watch this on TV and they want to emulate what's going on, like on Sons of Anarchy and things?
100%. You see it when the way they dress. All of a sudden, they want to be all fucking like they're all this and they're all that. And you see them walk into a place and their chest pumped out and they're all fucking tough. And I'm going, dude, why couldn't you be just as tough with or without that cut on? I said, because I'm the same cat with my cut on or my cut off. I was the same guy. But these guys, you'd see them. They'd be all in the corner with no balls until they put this vest on. Like all of a sudden they became Superman. I'm going, that vest ain't fucking mean shit. I said, at the end of the day, if the patch makes the man, you're a piece of shit. Because the patch does not make you. And
yeah, the man's supposed to make the patch.
There you go. But none of them follow that path anymore. You know, just like, we had the whole problem down here in Texas with the Mongols and everything else. I'm going, dude, you guys want to handle business? Let's handle business. I think there was like 25 of us bandits left after the split. And they had like maybe 30 or 40 Mongols down here where the part of Texas we're at. And I told them, okay, so tell them, we'll go 20 on 20, chest on chest. Whoever walks the fuck out, walks out. Who don't. I said, we got a spot, we'll go do it. Let's handle business. Nobody wanted to step to the plate from Mongols. Nobody wanted to step. I'm going, dude, I have no problem with it. We'll go chest on chest, 20 on 20. And whoever wins, wins. But no, they all want to get on just ride around and hide and be in cages and shit. I'm going, we're going to handle businesses and destroy these fucking guys, or what are we going to do? And
so they broke off the Bandidos and started a Mongol chapter?
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's how the whole fucking conflict happened down here in Texas. And now they're still here. They have them up in Dallas. They have them in Houston, Austin, down here in South Texas, and San Antonio. There's all kinds of chapters. But most of them were all ex-Bandidos.
That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, isn't it? And they basically just gave them patches. Which is fine. That's what you want to do, and that's what you want to represent. That's your deal. But it was definitely a strange time. But at the same time, now that I look back at it, all they did was do me a favor, because my life's got so much better after I've gotten out. And don't get me wrong, there's some good people that I've met, and there's some good people that are Bandidos, and there's some good old members. But the rest of them, they've changed. It's not the same. You don't know who to trust. You don't know not to trust. But it's definitely not the same brotherhood it used to be.
So have you seen, because the Bandidos have other opposition down there in Texas too, right?
Oh yeah.
A lot of them. There's a lot popping up everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I interviewed a Cossack yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're more up around Dallas area.
Yeah, I interviewed one of the 1% Cossacks.
Yeah, they used to be pretty good size up around Dallas, but they've gotten quiet ever since the Waco deal.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
That was nuts.
Nuts. Were you a part of it when all that happened?
I was in support when it happened. I wasn't at Waco. I was down here in South Texas, but I was in support. All the guys that got picked up, I knew every one of them.
So is there any situations that happened with any opposition or anything you could walk me through a situation?
Well, yeah, we've always had a bunch of problems, big bars, and as soon as you run into each other, it's on, because at the end of the day, we're still, everybody's at war, and there's no friends in clubs. They can say it all they want. Oh, the outlaws are with the Mongols, and the Hells Angels and the Bandidos are together. Yeah, we coexist, but don't think that they're best friends and they're gonna hang out. That's not gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. There's some Hells Angels that come down to Texas and they go to some parties because they're invited or whatever. And at the same time, there's Bandidos that have been up to California and went to some Hells Angels parties, and they're cordial. But you know as well as I do how far that goes. And it's just strange because it used to not be that way. It used to be, hey, this is my town. And that's how you expected it. Like we expected California and stayed out of it, just like they expected Texas to stay out of it. But now it's wide open. I don't know of any state that belongs to anybody anymore.
It's like everyone's taking a piece for themselves, kind of, right?
Exactly. And it all came down to money. The deal with the Mongols coming to Texas was money. They wanted to control the border. And the guys that jumped and left the Bandidos, that's where they were kind of jammed up, because they kind of were in a situation of got caught in a bunch of lies. They were about to get thrown out of the club anyhow. So basically they found another avenue to continue having backing. to continue what they were doing. So at the end of the day, it all came down to money. It had nothing to do with the patch or brotherhood or, hey, I'm gonna be a bandito till the day I die. Well, everybody started that way, but it changed.
You didn't see any writing on the wall when you were prospecting?
I didn't see any writing on the wall when I was a prospect, because most of the guys that I prospected under did I known them for 7-8 years while I was support. So it was nothing for me to take off out of here and be in San Antonio in 4 or 5 hours and just to pick up a chicken plate to support a brother's benefit. That's what I would do. And I'd spend some time with some brothers and I'd ride back. So to me, I didn't notice anything different. And I didn't get treated any way different. But once I became a member, you started seeing certain things, and you started seeing that you'd help brothers out, but then all of a sudden you'd get jammed up, but nobody could come to your aid. And then you'd start seeing brothers the only time they want to talk to you is when they needed something or they wanted something. The rest of the time you wouldn't hear from them, you wouldn't see them. Which at the end of the day, what the fuck? Can't we go just have a beer? And not to be, hey, do you have, by any chance you have an extra motor? Hey, do you have an extra transmission? Hey, can I borrow $1,000? Hey, can I? It ain't borrowing if you don't pay it back. Just ask, can you give it to me? Because you ain't gonna give that shit back. And that's kind of what you started seeing. But the more you said no, the smaller your circle got of brothers that you had around you. So you start getting that taste in your mouth that is fucking tastes like shit. Quit eating it.
Situation where you needed someone's backing, they didn't come.
Oh yeah, many a times. Oh yeah, many times you send a message out, hey, I'm jammed up. This is what's going on. You next, oh man, I didn't see my phone. Hey, I didn't. Yeah, I don't believe that. And then you just handle business, do what you got to do to get yourself out of the situation you're in. But yeah, it happened many a nights. And then you all these guys, oh man, if I would have known, I'd have been there. Dude, I sent it out. You guys didn't show up. It's just, and that's the problem right now is everybody so afraid of catching a case, or they're so afraid of somebody else snitching on them, whatever the situation is. But hey, I don't know what to tell you. Then take the patch off, or be what the patch says it's supposed to be. Read your bylaws, read your history, know what you're joining. Just like when I prospected, I didn't know all the history. I didn't know how it began, what all the presidents were. I didn't know all that information before I could ever become a member, and make sure that's what you want to get involved in. But nowadays, they'll give the patch. They give you the patch for nothing. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to ask for it. Nothing. You don't have to know none of the history. You don't have to know any of that crap.
Yeah. After you joined, did you see people join able to come in easy?
Yeah, they come in. Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, they're trying to grow numbers, so they just pick up whole chapters of clubs and probate them. They'd be probationary members for a year and a half. Yeah, they'd have to do some things and do some stuff, but nothing like you did when you prospected, or even even beginning of probationary wasn't hard. Because my last time around, I probated when the Mongols came, because they needed members. But I still had to do the same shit I had to do when I prospected. I had to carry all this shit on my bike. I had to have all this fucking crap on me 24/7. No matter what was going on, I had to go do this or go pick up that. Hey, brother, you need to go to Corpus Christi and come back. Go pick this up. Hey, well, while we're at the run, you're up. You're fucking making food. You're fucking running, paying all the fucking errands. You're running the fucking booth. You're doing all your shit you're supposed to be doing, and that's how it was supposed to be. But then you started trickling down. And you start seeing it as it watered the patch down. They less and less when you probated, you had to do anything. And it just. And don't get me wrong, some of the guys, like we were saying earlier, they treat guys like shit. And there was no reason to do people that way, but they would treat them like shit. And then you want to sit next to them. Hey, brother, how you doing? Glad you got your patch. Okay, well, that doesn't make it your brother when you treat him like shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is.
What kind of things have you seen with them treating people like shit?
Well, the whole thing is, you'd have yourself, they'd be sitting there and they'd be, basically treating prospects like they're nothing. Hey, I want you to go over here and get me a pack of cigarettes, but I want that cigarette to have an Oklahoma stamp on it. Okay, we're in Texas. So all of a sudden, this brother's got to ride 2.5, 3 hours to get a pack of cigarettes that has an Oklahoma stamp on it to bring it back. What did that teach him? I'm going, why would you do that to that brother? Then you'd have other times. Hey, I want a certain type of taco, knowing the place closes in 15 minutes and it's an hour away. So they send the brother, hey, don't come back without it. So now the brother's got to sit there till the next fucking morning. And that's how they all think it's funny.
Wow.
You know, and I'd have prospects call me, hey, Jeremy, what do I do in this situation? This is where I'm at. Who put you on that mission, brother? You know, I know you're not supposed to tell me, but, you know, you're kind of jammed up and I can't help you. I said, but, you know, once you put on that fucking deal, I can't really help what you have going on and I can't fix it because you signed up for this, you know? I can't disrespect that brother and tell him, hey, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Take him off that fucking mission. Now, if I'm there when it's happening and I know that brother did it, well, I'll pull that brother aside. Hey, go a little easy and let him do what he's got to do and then cut him off this fucking mission.